Today, I'm authorizing additional strong sanctions and new limitations on what can be exported to Russia. This is going to impose severe cost on the Russian economy, both immediately and over time. We have purposely designed these sanctions to maximize the long-term impact on Russia and to minimize the impact on the United States and our allies. No one expected the sanctions to prevent anything from happening. It has to show, this is going to take time, and we have to show resolve so he knows what's coming. And so the people of Russia know what he's brought on them. That's what this is all about. This is going to take time. It's not going to occur. He's going to say, oh my God, these sanctions are coming, I'm going to stand down. He's going to test the resolve of the West to see if we stay together, and we will. We will, and it will impose significant costs on him.
Did you underestimate Putin, and would you still describe him the way that you did in the summer as a worthy adversary?
At the time, I made it clear as an adversary, and I said he was worthy. I didn't underestimate him. He wants to, in fact, reestablish the former Soviet Union. That's what this is about. And I think that his ambitions are completely contrary to the place where the rest of the world has arrived.
And with these ambitions, you're confident that these devastating sanctions are going to be as devastating as Russian missiles and bullets and tanks?
Yes, Russian bullets, missiles, and tanks in Ukraine. Yes, I am.
Okay, so standard Joe Biden stuff. This has been consistent for his entire presidency. Just to sum up, just what you just heard there, it's not difficult to sum up. I'm Joe Biden. I did everything right. I saw this coming. I did nothing wrong. There was nothing else I could do. Any bad things that come from this are not my fault. Blame those oil and gas companies, and we'll get this thing solved. Okay. Look, none of that fecklessness you just saw should be any kind of a surprise. I don't want to bring up old stuff, and we're going to get to the actual Ukraine portion right now, but do remember, the embarrassing, internationally embarrassing withdrawal from Afghanistan, the troops, our dead troops, equipment left behind, killing civilians, the whole thing embarrassed in front of the world. Remember, in the wake of that, not one person resigned. Not one. Not one politician, State Department official, not one general. Not only did nobody resign, no one even expressed regrets. In fact, remember, the Pentagon investigated itself for killing the civilians and came out and said, look, we didn't do anything wrong. Now, why does that matter? What's this have to do with here? Well, let's keep in mind when Joe Biden is sitting down with his national security team and trying to figure out how to deal with an invasion of Ukraine by Vladimir Putin, those same people are in the room. The same people who made all those decisions on Afghanistan and then looked at that disaster and said, we nailed it, guys. They're making decisions right now. I'm going to help you sleep well at night, right? So what is happening right now? Look, what's happening is full-scale invasion. Now, I'm not going to comment on each and every tiny thing because we're getting reports in as fast as you're getting reports in and trying to cobble together what is true and what is not true. Here's what we do know. What we do know is artillery, fighter jets. There's been an amphibious landing. We now have confirmed that there are Russian ground troops moving into Ukraine, and we're not talking about a couple eastern regions that he's planning on breaking off. This is a full-blown invasion from 3 different sides of Ukraine, including the capital. There's an air base outside of Kiev. They're going after that air base. What it appears to be right now, we're moving on to an opinion portion of it. This is just what I see, and I've been talking to people all day long trying to make sure I can bring you the best intelligence I can just based on the people I know. From what I can see is Ukraine's going to last about another day or 2, maybe. Russia just simply has many capabilities Ukraine does not. It goes way beyond troop numbers. You see that a lot. I'm sure you've seen all that today. Russia has 180,000 and Ukraine only. That matters. That matters. But Russia also has capabilities Ukraine simply can't deal with, like cyber capabilities. One of the first things they did last night was cyber attacks. You start shutting down communications, shutting down banking systems, causes chaos. People can't talk back and forth. Cyber attacks are devastating. We're not necessarily prepared for one of those in this country, but we're not talking about us at the moment. So they started off with cyber attacks. Right now they're firing at military targets, selective targets. You may have wondered this today. You may have wondered, hey man, I see all these internet videos, there's explosions and planes and artillery, and yet we're not getting word about massive amounts of Ukrainian death. Now, every life matters, so we're not trying to be cold-hearted here, but you would think artillery shells going off, fighter jets, how many, 10,000, 20,000? We're hearing numbers like 40, 100, 200. It'll go way up from there. I'm not discounting it. It will go up, but the numbers weren't that drastically huge. Why? It appears, this is back to the opinion portion of it, it appears Putin is going for an easy W, meaning take out their communications, take out the military installations, essentially go after a few precision targets so you can get Ukraine to just give up. That matters. Right now it matters because Putin is potentially a madman. He doesn't want the world's wrath. He's willing to withstand the world's wrath, but he most definitely is a madman. And if he's not going for mass civilian death at this point in time, that means at least, hopefully, we're not going to have cities bombed out, tens of thousands of civilians dead. Let's hope it stays there. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.